How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Steinsgate, Linear Bounded Phenogram, where we're looking at the side story of Moeka. Last time we were here, she's continually being sent on a mission to keep an eye on Okabe and his friends, to learn about the time machine, and to destroy it, ultimately. But she's been struggling. Beyond FB, who's been, like, the only source of comfort contact she's really had, this is, like, the only group that's ever just been friendly and accepted her. Apparently she felt like she was alone and lost and, you know, was on the brink of wanting to end it all when Uffy came to catch her. But now she's starting to have doubts. Now she's starting to wonder, you know, like, does she really want to do this anymore? But she can't even articulate those thoughts because it's so, like, just ridiculous and against what she's always thought of herself in the past, like, I don't know, 5-10 years or something. So she's just really struggling, having like a personal like crisis about what she wants to do, what she should do, and ultimately what she's going to do. And then she also just ran a pretty sketchy like run where they like killed a scientist who had been on the run from SERN, and then like his stuff or his briefcase had to be delivered to somebody. And she wasn't like super directly involved, but she knows the shenanigans that have been going on. And just like that kind of darkness is starting to kind of creep in on her. Like she's starting to kind of realize what that is. So now she's at this meeting with Okabe and we're gonna see how this all plays out. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope you enjoy this episode. I don't really know. I bet you we're gonna be able to finish her story today, so we'll see how this all plays out. But buckle up and let me know what you think afterwards, after we're all done. But let's just jump right in, shall we? Alright, looks like you're all here.
一番最後に登場した遅刻者が何偉そうにしてんだか。
遅刻したのではない。主役とは遅れて登場するものだと昔から決まっているのだ。いわばこれも全て予定調和。シュタインズゲートの選択というわけだ。
Yeah, sure.
言い訳オツ。
I agree.
他のみんなは？
バイト選手は用事、フェリスはバイト、ルカ子は神社の手伝いだそうだ。まったく、世界の命運を左右する会議だというのにあいつらは。
I'm sure, yes.
しょうがないよ。いきなりの会議だったんだから。
そうそう。みんなオカリンほど暇じゃないんだよ。
I still feel a little sick.
ではこれより。第2357回目の円卓会議を開催しようと思う。
2357. That's a lot.
メールでは第1978回目になっていた件について。
Oh, yeah.
上司のくせに細かいことを。
誰が助手だ？誰が？
Excuse me.
どう見ても開始早々相変わらずのグダグダっぷりです。本当にありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Joel. That's he's saying in a goofy way. So net slang means exhausted, tired, unprepared, unorganized. I mean, did we have to get a definition for that? A trash fire is a trash fire. It's garbage that's also on fire.
今日はどんなお話をするのかな。
Yep.
マユシーは毎回難しくてちんぷんかんぷんなのです。
すまん。助手のせいで話が横道にそれた。
よく言うわよ。
でだ。今日の議題なんだが。
Yes. Time machine.
我々はこのままタイムマシン研究を続けていくべきなのか否かということに焦点を絞って話し合いたい。
Right. I couldn't have asked for a better chance. I contact FB to let her know that the roundtable conference has begun. You're gonna make it sound way more actually intense than it really is. Delivered the cargo. I delivered the cargo. I need to attend a conference at the lab now. The topic is whether or not to continue with the time machine research. Please advise. She immediately responds. This is a good opportunity to do whatever you can to derail the conversation and move it in a direction that results in the ceasing their time machine research. I'm not very good at talking in those sorts of situations. But these are FB's orders. I have to try. I have to do my best. If I can skillfully manipulate the conversation, I can stop their research.
私はタイムマシン研究はやめるべきではないと思う。
Crap. Instantly failed and foiled. That's right. Makise-san is trying to advance the time machine research for her father. She's not just going to give up.
ほう、どういう風の吹き回しだクリスティーナ。最初はこの研究に懐疑的だったではないか。
クリスティーナ言うな。まあその話は今は置いておくわ。今はね。
それでどうしてお前は研究を続ける気になったのだ？
It's really interesting. So it's a topic that I've been hearing a lot of, and I'm not going to get all political here, but unfortunately I do see a lot of people who criticize the decisions and the words of scientists, especially with the pandemic going on. And it's unfortunate because, like, oftentimes, like, the ammo they use is like, oh, well, they said this before, and now they're saying this. And it's a bunch of just malarkey that's really... I mean, Kurisu is a great example of this. Scientists that are good scientists will be wrong. And that the best scientists will admit they're wrong. Kurisu struggles with that sometimes, but once she cools down, she's always been able to admit her own, like, mistakes and then proceeds forward. Because that's the whole idea. Like, learning and understanding and research is about finding out what isn't true. More often, what isn't true. And adapting as you go, and adapting your models, your preconceived notions, and your theories to adapt to the knowledge you gain. Good science is about adaptation, about growth, and about understanding and kind of, like, applying new knowledge. So when people use the fact that scientists don't always get it right at first time and then amend themselves and change the narrative and the advisement and the theories, and they say, oh, well, look at that, they obviously don't know what they're talking about, they're flip-floppy, it's a conspiracy. It's like, it's so dumb. Like, you just don't understand how science works. Scientists will never claim to know all the answers, but they certainly know the answers a lot better than the rest of us. I don't know. You always have to be skeptical. You should always be skeptical. You should always check your sources. But, like, you also should be skeptical of your skepticism, you know? Because unless you are a qualified scientist in the field of study, you cannot just assume that your thoughts are unbiased. In fact, even if you are a master, the masters understand that they're likely biased, and so they're going to look for good sources. Most of us don't even understand the way to really examine sources properly. And so just be careful. If there's a little roundtable moment I want to have with all of you, it's this. It's the fact that science has not led us astray. Not really. Like, yeah, there are mistakes, there are glitches, there's misunderstandings. The history's rife with them. But I think you can look at the past 100 years and the advancement we've made in the past 100 years, and a lot of that is because of better understanding of applying the scientific method, of being more accountable to each other, and sharing information more openly. It's allowed for some amazing and terrible things to be brought about. And so it's just something to be cautious of. It's like, you know, you can't use the fact that a scientist who's as brilliant as a character like Kurisu, but there are real scientists that are smart like Kurisu who make mistakes and poor judgment calls. Remember, her position at first, time travel is not possible. She sees evidence of it. She flees, thinks about it, comes back and says, look, I was wrong. I want to understand why. That's what a scientist does. They're wrong, then they come back and they understand why. They get it right, great, hunky-dory, we move forward. They get it wrong, they keep digging. They adjust, they make amendments. They move forward because none of them are God, none of them are perfect, and the fact is, science isn't about being perfect. It's about being imperfect enough that you figure out what's actually going on. It's an amazing story, and what science is so incredible and so fun, and why I want to be a part of it, even if it's like in a remote satellite type of way. And it's just frustrating to see people who just don't seem to understand that, constantly blasting on the internet their opinions. Like, you're free to have opinions, but there's a difference between how you think and what's actually happening, and when there's a lot of it's being chewed up in that regard, like twisting narratives. And it's unfortunate because that happens everywhere. I don't care where you are, everyone twists the story to try and make themselves feel better. I wish we could have leaders who were objective. I wish we could have communities who were understanding of like the reason why things happen the way they do. I wish we had communities that were less emotional and reactive and more focused and contemplative. One thing that's really cool about visual novel readers is the fact that we get drawn to these stories because we are the more contemplative type. I mean, granted, we're not all the same. But you wouldn't be sitting here listening to my videos if you weren't the kind of person who genuinely just wanted to know what I thought. If you weren't invested in a story about characters rather than, you know, quick fire, like no scope gameplay, you know? You can play that in Call of Duty, but that doesn't take any depth. This is depth. This is character understanding and building. And look at the depth of character for Moeka. Like, so much more to her than we ever thought. And like, I always knew there was more going on. And I'm glad to get to explore this. Anyway, soapboxing done. Let's move forward. Alright, so what do you think we should continue our work?
単純に好奇心っていうのが一番の理由。
Yeah, there you go.
二つ目の理由としては、今までに行ってきた D メールの実験で発生したタイムパラドックスの
The conversation advances into more technical details. But if I don't jump in now, Makise-san's going to get what she wants. I have to enter the conversation.
ちょっといい？
Yeah, come on, Moeka. What are you
そ
gonna...
もそもこの D メールがあればいくらでも過去を改変できるのだぞ。パラドックスが起こったところで何も怖くはないはずだ。
問題はパラドックスが起こったところで私たちはそれに気づけないってことよ。だからこそ研究はもっと慎重に進めるべきだとは思う。
She's got a good point.
矛盾しているな。それではまるでお前は実験をやめたがっているように聞こえるが、最初に実験は続けるべきだと言ったのはどこの誰だった？
誰もやめるなんて言ってない。慎重に進めようと言っとろうが。あんたの考えなしの実験には危なっかしくて付き合いきれないのよ。
This is bad. There are no openings, which means... Yeah, there you go. There's something I want to ask. Have a moment?
その点に関しては俺のリーディングシュタイナーがあるから心配無用だ。
Reading Stein.
心配無用って言われても、実際に確たる証拠がないから心配してるんじゃない。
Huh? I know I sent him an email. Is he just ignoring it? Or maybe he just didn't notice. I'll try it again. Could also, you know, Makise or somebody else, you know? Hey. Okabe-kun, there's something I want to ask. Have a moment? Please notice this mail. Oh, I'm so sad.
確たる証拠はない。しかし、こればかりは俺の主観でしか証明できないのだ。
だったら、何か別のアプローチを考えてみない？例えば、
He's not looking. Okabe-kun's too engrossed in the argument to check his phone. What should I do? This rate I'm gonna fail FB's mission. Aww.
ねえねえ、萌香さん、大丈夫？なんだか、さっきからオカリンたちに言いたいことがあるみたいだけど。
Mayuri's so good. Shina-san whispers to me. I guess she must have noticed me struggling to enter the conversation.
大丈夫？
言いたいことは、ちゃんと聞いてもらった方がいいと思うな。
It's true.
でも、二人の邪魔するの悪い。
Shina-san flashes me a smile before boldly butting into the middle of their heated debate.
ねえねえ、二人とも。
Yeah.
マユリ、なんだ突然。
どうしたの？
萌香さんが言いたいことがあるみたいだから聞いてあげてほしいな。
Aww.
二人とも話に熱中しすぎだよ。 萌香さんが何か言いたそうにしてるの、ちっとも気づかないんだもん。
Yeah, they get into the little bubble, don't they?
そうだったの？ごめん、萌香さん。ちょっと熱くなりすぎてたわ。
いいだろう、指圧しよう。お前が考えた世界に混沌をもたらす方法、しかと聞かせてもらおうではないか。さあ、話すがいい。
Yeah, crap. Shina-san smiles.
よかったね、萌香さん。
She's like, okay, but putting him on the spot all of a sudden. Oh.
ありがとう。
Shina-san looks happy, even though she's not has nothing to gain from doing that. I timidly bow my head to her. And once again, a tight pang went through my chest. Am I really deceiving such kind, warm people? I know it's my mission, but...
萌香さん？どうしたの？顔色が悪いわよ。
I suddenly remember my earlier mission. A life taken so easily. A murder treated as though it never happened. Now that this is my mission, I might have to do these people what they did to that scientist.
ちょっと風に当たってくる。
おいおい、どうした？何か言いたいことがあったんじゃないのか？
I don't have any right to be with Okabe-kun and the others. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure she did say something normally. This does seem different. I ran out of the lab and aimlessly wandered the streets of Akihabara. Who mailed us? Did you say that make you mad? He's still in Akihabara. Yes, in Akihabara, I'll come back soon, don't worry, or... I'm okay. Some kind of sad happened, but it's nothing to do with anyone in the lab. I'll come back soon, don't worry. I could have just gone straight home, but I feel like I'd be betraying the lab mems if I did. But either way, I'm going to be betraying them.
Ah! Ita!
Fetch, they actually came looking for her.
よかった。ここにいたんだ。
Aww.
どうしてあなたたちが。
Shina-san and Makise-san catch up to me out of breath.
萌香さん、急にラボを飛び出しちゃうから心配して探しに来たんだよ。
Aww.
岡部と橋田に連絡しとくわ。萌香さんは見つかったからラボに戻れって。ごめんなさい。
別に謝るようなことじゃないよ。
Aww.
そうそう。私だってたまにラボを飛び出したくなるようなことがあるもの。主に岡部のせいでね。
That's very true. I also see there's a lot of parallelism I can see with Moeka and me. Not as much as I see with other characters, but Moeka and me both, we have a propensity for apologizing for stuff that's not our fault in any way. I do that all the time. I'm glad I'm not going to get as anxious as she does, but man, could you imagine hardly being able to even just talk? Good grief, I never shut up when I start talking. Again, they're being so kind to me again. They don't suspect me in the least. They're so friendly to me.
どうしてどうしてみんなこんな私に優しくしてくれるの？
Aww.
だって私は
I can't say it. There's no way I could say it. Perhaps concerned by my sudden silence, Shina-san speaks to me in a gentle voice.
萌香さん、どうしてなんて聞かないでよ。理由なんてないよ。
Oh, my heart. Could you imagine someone like Mayuri telling you that? Like, not because it's not out of her personality, but I mean, like, being so confused, being so lost, and in a cloud of like doubt, and just having someone be able to come up to you, and like especially when you have that tendency, I would call it like whether it's clinical or not, like depression and poor self-esteem, I feel like poor self-esteem doesn't even cover it really. It's like self-degrading, like worthlessness, that feeling of worthlessness. I think most of us go through that at least a little bit, some dip here or there. I have mood swings. I part of a recent health journey I've been going on lately involved going and seeing a counselor a little bit. Like, it was mostly to touch base and make sure there wasn't any issues. And there weren't really, but like I was encouraged to talk about is the fact that I have responsive depression. I don't respond well to massive life changes, and it can throw me for a loop and can make my thoughts more dark. Not every single change does this. It's more of the stuff that's like wildly out of my control, but like is detrimental to me and my family. It can throw me into a spiral. And then occasionally I just have the little things build up, and I'll have a day where I feel like I'm in a rain cloud, and like my head's in a fish bowl in that rain cloud, and it's just really hard to be positive, and it's hard to feel motivated. And so I think the phrase she used was intermittent depression. Nothing I could be given medication for, but something to be aware of. It could develop into something worse. If my life took a really severe turn, if I experienced some very heavy, impactful losses per se, I likely would be heavily advised and probably should, and now that I'm aware of it, I probably will seek out counseling if I ever get into a state like that, because oftentimes you don't know you need the help until like when you need it. So like me just being aware that like if I have a massive change, like especially something so shaking as like maybe losing a loved one, I know I need to go get myself checked in. But Kurisu, Moeka is not in a position for that. As a matter of fact, her depression and anxiety has been weaponized against her by the Rounders, manipulating her, contriving her in her these thoughts that the only value that she has in all of her life is because of the Rounders, and that she owes them literally everything. It's why they targeted her and the other people that they work with. And think about that. They target depression and they actively use it against them. And now she's standing here and she actually has to face herself and say, like, why would you be so nice to me? Like, the fact that someone has to, if you have to ask yourself, like, why are they being nice to me? That's a good point to be reflective and be like, maybe there is something that you need to go talk to someone about. A professional, preferably. Because if you can't understand that you have enough value, that there are going to be people, as few or as many as you will, even if it's just one, and if you can't comprehend why someone would be nice to you, then you don't understand your own value, because everyone's precious. Everyone's life has meaning and value and a reason to be there. You could be as young and inexperienced, but you have your whole life ahead of you. You could be in your 90s, and you have so much of life that you've lived and knowledge and wisdom to share. There's no person anywhere on the planet that can't offer something to somebody else. And even the people who make the worst possible choices, the psychopaths, the murderers, the rapists, they are still valuable people. Does that mean they shouldn't get punished for things they do? No, but I'm saying that like we have to understand that everyone has value. Everybody has potential, and the fact that Moeka can't see that in herself is really, really telling of just how dark her reality is.
だってマユシーたちはラボメンなんだよ。
And then to have Mayuri, who's like literally like a ball of starlight, just like appear in your life when you've had so much darkness. Like, how do you even comprehend that? Because we're all lab mims, aren't we?
そうね。ラボメンであり、仲間だもの。
Aww.
でも、私はラボのために役立つことなんて何一つしていない。こんなの仲間とは言えない。
Think about FB. Recently, I haven't been useful to her either, which means I'll be abandoned. And if I'm abandoned, I won't be able to be their friend.
Moeka-san.
Shina-san crouches down in order to align her gaze with mine.
マユシーはね、仲間ってそういうことじゃないって思うのです。
Aww. Okay. Thumbnail for sure. Look at this. Oh, it's so cute. I raise my head. They're both smiling at me.
利害関係や利用価値、そんなもので集まるのが仲間だっていうのなら、私はとっくの昔にラボを去ってるわよ。
Oh yeah.
うんうん。マユシーだってオカリンやクリスちゃんたちの研究に何一つ役立ってないよ。
でも利害関係じゃないっていうのならラボメンって何？私を追いかけたところで何の意味もないのにどうして？
それはね、萌香さんがお友達だからなのです。
That's what friends do.
友達？
そうね。ラボ面をどう表現するかって言われたら、私も友達っていう表現がベストだと思うわ。
We're crazy, we're wild, we're very diverse, but we're friends. A relationship that isn't about common interests, but just about being together. That's a friend. I've never had any relationships beyond the ones I have with the Rounders or FB, so the word feels almost dreamlike to me.
友達羨ましい。
萌香さん、そうじゃないでしょ。
萌香さんもラボの一員なんだから、マユシーたちの友達だよ。
Aww.
私が友達？
Yeah.
そう、友達。
そうじゃなきゃ、こんなに必死になって探したりしないわよ。
あれ？萌香さん、もしかして泣いてるの？
I don't know, because you took like a love, stake and just plowed it into her heart.
ちょっとなんで？私たち、何か悪いこと言った？
違うの。嬉しくて。
Aww.
萌香さん。
Shina-san softly takes my hand in hers. It's more warm and gentle than anything I've ever felt before.
いきなり泣くから、ちょっと驚いちゃったわ。
ごめんなさい。
Up until now, I'd only ever saw value in my own existence through how useful I was. I knew that FB was using me, but I didn't resent her for it. If anything, the fact that I could stay connected to her by being used was comforting to me. But I never thought there'd be people out there willing to accept me for me. I'm so happy. I feel that way from the very bottom of my heart.
はい。このハンカチ、よかったら使って。
ありがとう、椎名さん。
Aww.
友達なんだから、名前でいいよ。
名前？
そう。マユシーは、萌香さんに名前で呼んでほしいのです。
Aww. Her name. I've never called someone by their first name before, at least not outside of emails. It was always just too embarrassing.
マユリ
Aww.
さん。
はーい。
So cute. Mayuri-san raised her hand in an exaggerated manner and mischievously smiles.
萌香さんが名前で呼んでくれた。
Aww.
嬉しいな。
Her carefree smile fills my chest with a deep warmth. I never knew friends could be such a warm thing.
さあ、そろそろラボに帰りましょう。
オカリンとダルくん、すごく心配してたもんね。
Yeah. Today I made my first friends ever. They're all so warm-hearted. But danger is quickly approaching them, and only when I look back at how I'm the one who brought this upon them do I realize just how terrifying the organization I'm a part of truly is. Yeah. This is gonna be rough. The lab's been rowdy since this morning. Alright, Sheena, sorry I couldn't reply today. You're concerned about something outside the lab. You can talk to me about it anytime. Thanks for worrying about me. You're really kind, Mayuri. I'll have to take you on the offer next time. Aww. Alright. Let's keep going.
ではこれよりオペレーションベルダンディを開始する。
Sorry, I'm getting tired.
言いたいところだが、バイト選手とフェイリス、それにルカクはまだか。
I know.
おかり、フェリスちゃんは今日もバイトだよ。
天西もさっき下であったけどバイトだってさ。
漆原さんも神社のお手伝いだって連絡あったろうが。
Yep.
なんだと。
Yep.
偶然にしてはできすぎている。これも期間の差し金か。
Oh yeah, sure. Because you know people can't have jobs.
オカリンが暇すぎるだけな気がす。
It's true.
ダル、死後は慎め。
うは、理不尽来たこれ。
まあ来れないものはしょうがない。ここにいるメンバーだけで作戦を進めるぞ。
Alright, let's do this.
各員、準備はいいか。
準備以前にそのネーミングセンスをどうにかしてほしいわ。
マキセ氏、言いたいことは十分すぎるほどわかるけど、今さらオカリンにそれを求めても時間と労力の無駄遣いだお。
Oh, how happy the music is. After yesterday's roundtable conference, it was decided that the time-seeing research would continue to the next stage. The FB's orders were for me to stop them, but I ended up promising to help out instead.
ん？どうしたシアツシよ。顔色が悪いみたいだぞ。ちゃんと睡眠はとってきたのか？
あんまり眠れなくて。
なるほど。世界の命運を左右する戦いを前にして緊張して眠れなかったというわけか。俺にもよくある。まあ俺の場合は緊張ではなく明日また世界を一つ変えるのかという歓喜のせいだが。
Right, and also the Dr. P you drink has nothing to do with it.
萌香さんとあんたを一緒にすんな。12秒。
だがこの作戦はラボメンが誰一人としてかけても成功し得ない重要かつ重大な作戦なのだ。視圧し体調管理を怠るな。
Right. I received a message. Oh boy. Sorry, Moeka-san. This is my fault for messaging you so late at night. It's not. I sigh in relief. She does not want to hear from FB. That's really interesting. That's right. I was excited last night. I stayed up sending messages back and forth with my new friends. My cat's crying. I've never done that with anyone besides FB. Kurisu-san also asked me to call her by her first name too. So starting today, I'm doing my best to call her Kurisu-san, not Amakase-san. Kitty. He's so loud. It's all a little embarrassing, but it really feels like we're friends. Makes me happy. No biggie. No, it's totally okay. I like sending messages, so I tend to not get much sleep anyway. Don't worry about it, Moeka. Aw, it's really cute. What'd they talk about? Should we take a snoop through her phone? Kurisu opens her phone a few seconds after I sent my reply to her. Alright, let's take a look at their conversation, if we can, a bit. So, because, like, yeah, we got that. Did Mishu say something to make you mad? Are you in Akihabara? Yeah, okay. You awake? Do you mind if I call you? There's something I want to discuss. Are you feeling... Hi, are you free right now? Alright, and then... Thanks for today. First time I've ever had friends. I'm really happy. Hope we get to hang out more. Anyway, what do you want to discuss? I prefer a message if possible. Okay. That's gonna take forever. I hope because man, this is gonna be a rambling episode, just randomness. I got our friends not too, Moeka-san. If possible, I'd like you to call me by my first name like Mayuri. Is that okay with you? What do you say we get we invite her out and I'll go grab a bite? I know this might seem a little shameless considering we just became friends, but I'm still getting used to all this. Sorry if I'm bothering. It's so cute. I gotta see. You're not bothering at all. In fact, well, like, welcome it, Kurisu-san. I'm getting embarrassed. Let's go out to eat somewhere. I've always wanted to do stuff like that. Alright. Perfect. We should get in touch with Mayuri, figure out a good place. Anyway, I want to discuss Okabe. What do you think of him? Kurisu. Like, she seems to, like, standoffish, but it turns out that he's, like, super... She's, like, obsessed with him. It makes sense, but it's really adorable. Okabe-kun. He's kind of unreliable. He can be really weird, but I don't think he's... But I do think he's oddly charming. She's like, wait, you like him? Right? He just has a strange charisma about him. Aww, it's so cute. Don't tell me. We're talking about a lovey-dovey stuff? Kurisu-san, do you like Okabe-kun? Like, does she like, no? No way, never in a million years. You got the wrong idea, seriously. Oh, really? I feel like you two are such a good match, but since you're denying it so much, does that mean you dislike Okabe-kun? Really? You think Okabe and I are a good match? I don't dislike him. Yeah, I know we're always arguing, but sometimes it's kind of fun. Oh, it's so cute. Ah! I'm happy I did this. You're like two peas in a pod. Watching you both put a big smile on my face. They would be a really cute couple. It'd be really weird going on like a double date with them, but it'd be fun. Okay. A good match, huh? I'd love to hear more about why you feel that way when we go out to eat. Oh crap, Mayuri would be there, so maybe not. Thanks for putting up with my silliness this late at night. I'm going to bed. See you later. Later today. Anyway, good night. Yeah, because this is like just at the time of midnight. And then good night, Kurisu-san. Aww, so cute. Yes, yes, yes. I approve. I am super on board with the Moeka. Kurisu Mayuri friendship triangle of fantasticness. Wouldn't they be like a great, I don't know, like, it's so cheesy to say it, but like I was thinking Power Rangers or a Magical Girls, like they could do like a spin-off show. But if we're gonna do Magical Girls or Power Rangers, you have to have Ferris as well. And maybe we throw in Luca for like the twist, because normally the original Power Rangers wasn't it mostly like they were all guys and like one girl or maybe two girls. In this case, it would be all girls and one guy. Our eyes meet and she flashes me a gentle smile. Ah, it's so nice having friends. Aww, Moeka.
では、話を元に戻すぞ。
Yes.
今回のオペレーションベルダンディの概要を説明する。
Verdandi.
この作戦の最終目標はタイムリープマシンの完成だ。
Okay. From what I've been told, the phone wave will be modified into the time leap machine, a device capable of sending a person back in time. But right now, it's only capable of sending back memories, or at least that's what Okabe-kun said. According to Kurisu-san, it utilizes a VR technology that she was researching back in America. To be frank, I don't really understand much of what they were just describing, but the time leap machine really can be made a reality. That'd be amazing.
というわけで、今回の作戦は我がラボ始まって以来の大規模な作戦となるだろう。なので、ラボメン全員が一丸となって。
Yeah.
ねえねえ、オカリ。
I was just having this thought while he was talking about it and contemplating this. Like, we were leading up to the events of, I think, tomorrow, the 13th. Yeah, like tonight, I think it's supposed to be that special meeting with all the other members. I think tomorrow is the actual plan. And if that's the case, like, I know this is an alternate timeline now because, like, how on earth would Moeka actually be able to pull the trigger on Mayuri right now? Like, there's no way. There's no way.
な、どうしたマユリ？
あのね、マユシーにも何かお手伝いできることはないかな。
マユリが未来ガジェットの開発に積極的なのは珍しいな。
マユシーだってラボメンの一員だもん。
Uh-huh.
だからみんなの役に立ちたいなって思うのです。
Right, being a lab mem isn't just about sharing a common interest. I'm sure Mayuri-san genuinely wants to be helpful. In that case, Yeah. Me too. Okabe-kun. Me too. I want to be useful to everyone too. Aww. God, yes!
Hmm?
何？視圧師もみんなの役に立ちたいだと？
Aw, yeah.
まさか視圧師までが未来ガジェット研究に積極的になってくれるとは。
Are you gonna actually cry? It almost sounds like he will.
感動した。二人ともやっと我々の研究の偉大さに気づいてくれたか。
Mm-hmm.
よし、ならばお前たちには最も重要かつ重大な任務を与えよう。
Getting food.
重要かつ重大な
Mm-hmm.
任務。
ああ、失敗の許されない厳しい任務だか。やってくれるな。
But what is it?
どんな任務なの？
マユリ、そして視圧師、お前たち二人にはタイムリープマシンのパーツを買いに行ってもらう。
Yeah, that works.
マユシーたちがタイムリープマシンのパーツを？
ああ、そうだ。
Okabe-kun dramatically nods his head. To be honest, I'm a little worried. Now, I'm a lot worried.
オカリン、ぶっちゃけその人選はどうかと思うわけだが。
何か問題でもあるのか？
だってさ、単純に買い出しつっても PC の改造に使うパーツは名称や規格が複雑っしょ。それにマユシやキリュウシじゃ真靴のような秋葉で細々したパーツを見つけるのは難しいんじゃないかと思われ。
He's right. I'm not confident that I'd be able to get the right things. And I don't think this sort of thing is Mayuri-san's forte either. I feel uneasy being left with this kind of responsibility.
だったら誰がついていってやれ。そうすれば確実だろう。
おお、なんというハーレムデート状態。
No.
だが断る。僕はこの後大事な人と会う約束があるんだ。
大事な人と会う約束？まさか女でもできたのか？
That would be awesome, but no.
いや、そういうわけじゃないけど、女の子と会うんだから、ある意味ではリア充と言っても過言ではない。キリ
Yeah.
いや、100歩譲ってリア充は許そう。しかし世紀の大研究よりも女との約束を優先するとは。貴様それでもスーパーハッカーか？
So wait, who does he meet? Is this like a meeting with Suzuha? Because I don't think Yuki's in the picture quite yet.
おっと、それじゃあ僕はもうそろ
Look
そろ
at
行
the
かなくちゃい
time,
けない
gotta
から
go.
お先に失礼。
ダルくん、またね
ま、どうせ二次元嫁とかそんなところでしょ。せいぜいモニターに頭ぶつけないようにね。
Careful not to headbutt your monitor. Aw, she's like super participating in it. It's really cool. See you. That's going on a date? Good luck. That's awesome.
誰の裏切り者？
Yeah.
まさか誰がリア充とは。
Oh, come on, Okabe.
だってね、しょうがないよ。ダルくんは何ヶ月も前からフェリスちゃんと約束してたんだから。
Okay, see, that makes tons of sense.
フェイリスだと？
今日はね、
Yeah, first.
明日メイクインニャンニャンで開かれるフェイリス杯の前夜祭なんだもん。
Right.
フェイリス杯？
フェリスちゃんが主催しているライネットアクセスバトラーズっていうカードゲームの非公式大会のことだよ。
Nice.
あいつめ
Alright, come
あ
on.
えて真実を告げずに自分をリア充へ昇華させるとはさすが我がラボの誇る凄腕スーパーハッカーといったところか。
Yeah,
リア充とハッカーの腕は全然関係ないから。
yeah. Absolutely not.
まあ橋田の話は置いておくとして、買い出しだったら私も一緒に行くわよ。
Ooh.
クリスティーナに誰の代わりが務まるとは思えんが。
メモもあるし、パーツを売ってる大体の場所は把握してるから大丈夫よ。
Ooh, yeah, and they can have their afternoon out.
なるほどな。そういうことなら任せたぞ。
わあ、それじゃあクリスちゃんと萌香さんと3人でお買い物だね。
私たちが頼りないせいでごめん。
Why?
何言ってるのよ。別に大丈夫だから。それに昨日言ったでしょ。こういうのが当然なんだから。
That's right. Kurisu-san and Mayuri-san both called me their friend. This is a totally normal thing for friends to do. Even small things like this make me kind of happy.
ちょっと待って、一体どういうことだ。3人の雰囲気が以前とは明らかに異なっている。はっ、まさか
Oh no, what are you gonna say?
機関による洗脳工作か。
はあ、どうしていろいろと鈍感なのかしらね、あんた。
No.
え？何のことだ？
なんでもない。それじゃあ行ってくるから、あとはよろしくね。
Bye.
俺の質問はスルーか？
行ってきまーす。
岡部くん、またね。
Aww. So fun.
とりあえずこれで全部ね。
Oh, sweet. Yeah, yeah.
思ってたより長くなっちゃったね。
Yeah, Shina, Mayuri, Makise-san. So she's texting me, today was fun. I had fun shopping today too. Let's go out together again sometime. Oh, I'm sure you're not done yet. Go get some food.
萌香さんからメール？
本当だ。
なんでわざわざメールなのよ。
Is this easier? Because it's kind of embarrassing to say it out loud. Oh, okay. Kurisu-san and Mayuri-san both smile softly after reading the message.
でもね、萌香さんの言う通り、今日は本当に楽しかったね。
Actually, our little shopping adventure didn't take very long thanks to Kurisu-san. After we finished grabbing the parts, we had tea at the cafe at UPX and helped Mayuri-san with some personal shopping, did a bunch of other stuff too. Oh, say, why couldn't we read more about that? That sounded fun, but oh, I guess it would have just been fluff. I honestly feel a little bad for Okabe-kun back in the lab. Yeah, he's just sitting there just like grumbling about like Daru becoming a normie. Never gone out with girlfriends before, so today was a really fresh experience. I probably remember for the rest of my life.
もしかして今日みたいなのってこの前雑誌で読んで知ったんだけど、女子会っていうのかしら。
I like how Kurisu's super not used to it either.
そっか。クリスちゃんはアメリカで暮らしてたから、そういうこと知らないんだね。
That's a thing in America, though. But maybe that's a translation, and what they're referring to is an actual Japanese term that's like, you know, not easily translatable. And so the best translation is Girls' Day Out, because that's what we have here. That's what I'm gonna go off of, because otherwise that entire little sentence exchange doesn't make any sense.
まさしく今日みたいなのがそうだよ。
なるほど。だったらまたみんなで女子会しましょう。
Aww. They're both such good girls. If possible, I want to stay with them for oh, dum dum dum, fate comes a-knockin'. Orders. And inconspicuously as inconspicuously as possible, lead Makise Kurisu to the crosswalk in front of the Arc Rewrite building and have her cross. Don't arouse any suspicion. My heart rate just skyrocketed. Fetch. Holy cow. The time I spent laughing and having fun feels like a lie. I can feel the blood draining from my face. Why bring her to Arc Rewrite? What are you planning to do? Uh-oh, FB's gonna be freaking out. She's like, oh, she's questioning. Okay. We intend to kill Makise Kurisu there. She's too dangerous. No way. Kill Makise-san? This has got to be some kind of joke, right? This has to be a lie. It's a lie, it's a lie, it's oh boy. Oh no.
どうしたの？萌香さん、顔色が悪いみたいだけど。
なんでもない。大丈夫。
What's she gonna do? I suddenly recall the scientists who went into hiding in Akihabara. If I led them to the designated location, Kurisu-san will be killed. What should I do? Oh, what a horrible position to be in. As long as I'm a member of the Rounders, orders from FB are absolute. No, even if I ignore my position as a Rounder, the only reason I'm here is because of FB, and if it wasn't for her, I doubt I'd even be alive. Even if it means turning my back to the world, I don't want FB to hate me. But if I follow her orders, Kurisu-san will.
ねえ、萌香さん、本当に大丈夫？なんだか苦しそうだし、ラボに戻った方がいいんじゃない？
クリスさん。
どうしたの？
その。
I'm so scared. I never thought trying to put something into words could be so terrifying. But if I don't take them with me, FB will. Crap, that's two directions at once. Before we go back to the lab, there's somewhere I wanted to go before we head back to the lab. Mind if we take a quick detour?
Are? また萌香さんからメールだ。
私は別に構わないけど、萌香さんは大丈夫なの？
I'm fine.
じゃあ、決まりだね。
I'm the worst. Caught between having to choose my friends or being hated by FB, I choose to abandon my friends.
私、あのビルに入ってるヘンプロでバイトしてるの。
そうなんだ。萌香さんって編集者さんなんだね。
そういえば、前にそんな話してくれたわね。
I lead Kurisu-san and Mayuri-san to the building where my supposed job is. My orders are to cross this street. The light turned green. When we cross here, that'll probably be the end. Kurisu-san takes a step off the sidewalk. Naturally, she has no idea what's about to happen to her. She completely believed my lie about having to come here on an errand. She took some time out of her busy life to come with me. No, Kurisu-san, if you cross here, you'll... Oh. That's not gonna go over well.
クリスチャン大丈夫？
丈夫。
Aww. Okay. What exactly happened here? Kurisu-san's leaning up against my body, almost as if all the strength left her body. She's holding on to me, clinging even. Her body's freezing and a little damp, likely from a cold sweat. What the heck?
ありがとう、萌歌さん。
What the heck happened?
とっさに手を引いてくれなかったら、私
Oh. Kurisu-san slowly starts to cry.
本当にありがとう。
Fetch, man. The time-leap machine parts that Kurisu-san had been holding in her hand are scattered about, crushed. But she's unscathed. I'm so glad she's okay. But
それにしても今の車怖かったね。
yeah.
赤信号だったから急に発進してくるなんて思わなかったのです。
What should I do? I betrayed FB by saving Kurisu-san. I've gone against her. I'm sure the Rounders have already reported everything to her. I betrayed FB, the person who saved me from my own despair.
ごめんなさい。
萌歌さん。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Is she gonna tell them? What if she told them? I don't know what to do. I don't even know what I'm apologizing for anymore. Why am I apologizing? For betraying FB? For putting Kurisu-san in danger? I don't know. All I know is that I regret everything.
あれ、オカリンからメールだ。
Uh-huh.
しかも3通？
Wait, what? 3 of them?
ねえねえ、2人とも見て。今オカリンから送られてきたメール。これってあれじゃないかな。
What? Bailey holds her cell phone out in front of my eyes. Just as she said, she received 3 messages from Okabe-kun. Remember to buy 2A USB cables. Strange message.
ああ、これ多分 D メールじゃないかしら。
Why would you send emails about that?
全部6文字以内だもんね。
萌歌さん。
ごめんなさい。
もう謝らないで。萌歌さんのおかげで私は無事だったんだし、パーツはまた買い直せばいいんだから。だからね、パーツのことは気にしないで。ちょうど追加の買い出しもあるんだし、また買い直しに行こう。
Right. Just as I thought, she's not the least bit suspicious. She even thinks I'm apologizing for the broken parts. Why? Why is everyone at this lab so nice? I almost had her killed just to avoid FB hating me.
ほら、行こう。
Kurisu-san extends her hand to me, but I hesitate to grab it. I have no right to touch such a soft, gentle hand. I only live for FB. But then why does that make me so sad? Oh boy. And that's where we're gonna end for today. Oh, that was insane. Oh my gosh. What a spicy episode that ended up being. Holy cow. I don't think my emotions can take it. Oh. I can't even, like, what a great perspective to be like she's being pulled in so many conflicting directions. Like, I honestly feel like her position is almost as tough as, like, when Okabe had to decide whether to send emails to, like, adjust the wishes of his friends in order to try and get back to the original world line where, like, he knew where the IBN 2100 is. 5100, not 2100. Like, remember having to painstakingly know we have to push that send button? But, like, also knowing that we're going to be making a terrible, terrible choice if we do. And we're like, that's what Moeka just had to have in her life right there. She had her button push moment. And how wrenching is that? Like, it seems no-brainer to us, but her perspective is so much more clear now. Fetch. Alright, well, I got a lot to think about. I bet you do too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I tried to make it a little longer, but that's also just such a good ending point. We're just going to put it here, but yeah. I had a lot to say this episode, so I'm really curious to hear what you thought. Naturally, I don't know. Maybe it's just not worth saying much about, but at the same time, it's always good hearing your sides of things and just maybe a different perspective. But yeah, I'm guessing next week we'll be able to wrap up Moeka, and then the big decision comes on whether or not to do the last few paths live, or just go ahead and get those out of the way on my own time so we can wrap this up. Because I think I do want to leave some stuff behind, but I'm also like, I know I've done most of the stuff already, so it's like, I don't know. We'll see, but regardless, we'll figure it all out next week. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thanks for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here, and until next video, watching me up to see me next. I'll see you there.